Hey there, welcome to Pop Culture Cupid.
I'm Alison, love coach, here to help you single people find your way back to love.
And I'm Michal, I'm a single life coach. I help singles embrace themselves and their singleness, as well as develop a healthy self-relationship.
In this podcast, we will look at how pop culture impacts romance, dating, and your love life.
And each week we'll shoot another arrow through another pop culture delusion.
I thought we weren't going to do the whole cheesy thing.
And then burst into smithereens.
Oh my god, dude, that's so cringe!
Sorry, it's in the intro now.
If you make it through the chaos and you enjoy what you hear, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and go to all the social media.
At Pop Culture Cupid on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy!
Recording in progress. Hello.
Hello again. Hello. Next week is Father's Day in France. When is it? Do you have Father's Day and Mother's Day in Israel?
I think we do. God, I'm so terrible at this. I don't keep track of those days. I think some people celebrate the international one, but I'm pretty sure we also have like the Israeli Day. I just can't remember when it is. I usually get a reminder on Facebook or something where someone's like that, and then I'm like, oh yeah, happy Father's Day, Daddy.
Yeah, because I mean, the one in France is definitely different from the one in England.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so it's Father's Day in France next week.
Nice. Do you do anything special for these occasions?
So for Mother's Day this year, we were moving. So I told my mother, "I'll just come over, help me move." So I had a bit of time with my mum.
What a prize!
And I got her a gift, but it arrived late, so I'll give it to her next time I see her. And Father's Day, well, I'm not seeing my own father because we've got JT's daughter, and so we're doing his Father's Day.
Yeah,
which is weird because now I've got my own father, but I'm living with a father.
Yeah,
exactly. So we're gonna do anything special? Yeah, maybe just the three of us, see how.
Yeah, I mean, I always found it like a sort of a gimmicky day, just like Valentine's Day on like the same scale.
Yeah,
of like it's just these culture trying to get you to spend more money, and it just but
yeah, I mean, roses cost a stupid amount around that day, and
all the restaurants are booked, and it's like everything's anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were recently in the south of France, and we haven't spoken since, so you haven't gotten a chance to let us all know how it was, because we're all very curious about it.
It was, I mean, so the south of France is, it's a nice place to go. Because we went there, JT, Julia, so his daughter, and I, we were there, the three of us, because he comes from the south of France. And it's the second or third time that we went down, maybe the second time that we went down, like, to see his family. And the first time that we went down, like, I had been warned that his mother is a bit difficult, and his father's amazing, but his mother's a bit difficult, and it's, a bit complicated. And I can't remember if we had this conversation. Like, I met his aunt, so his mother's sister, a while back, and that was hellish. It was just like we were two different worlds just like colliding and clashing. It was just catastrophic. I felt so uneasy, so uncomfortable, not in my, unwelcome, judged, everything. So his mother and his aunt, I was just like, oh my God. And I started to see kind of, a darker side of his mother, but not terrible, but just like, I get it when people warn me. But when we were in the south of France, it was just, she is oblivious to everything. I mean, if it doesn't fit into what she thinks the world should look like, then she doesn't acknowledge it. She doesn't see it. It's just, we were talking about the fact that JT and was selling his place and I was going to sell my place and we were going to move. And she had some genuine, I think, motherly concern about her son's situation, and she didn't want him to kind of find himself in a bad place, which I think is fine. But she would often say things like, if you need anything from us, then we'll help you, blah blah blah. And then she ends up saying, actually, I won't help you with that, I won't help you with that. And while we were there, she was asking me all of these questions, and I was saying, what we were going to be doing, and she kept challenging me, and I was just, it was so unexpected of the reasons she was challenging me. Like, for example, we are renting where we are living now, for a year or so before we buy another place. And she was just, and so JT is the only one on the rental contract. Like, I didn't show up just for admin reasons. And it is the best way. Like, if we were to break up, like, he is safe. Like, I'm the one on the street. I have no home security whatsoever. And she challenged that. She was just like, that is so stupid. Why would you do that to him? Why is he on his own? It's so dangerous for him. I'm just like, it is the safest thing for him. It's like, no, then you can end up not paying and he's the only one that has to pay. I'm like, I mean, okay, but if anything happens, I'm the one I'm not here illegally because he's I'm allowed to live here. But if it comes down to it, if somebody needs to be kicked out, it's the one that's not on the contract, type of thing. And she challenged that, and then she would say she said to me, I don't want my son to end up doing God knows what with God knows who. And I'm like,
yeah,
what do you mean? It's so, she was just, and she had just decided to be negative about everything. And she said, why are you moving now? Why aren't you waiting? I was like, we need to move before summer comes, because living in that 54 square meter flat, 2 adults, a kid and a dog, is just not possible. Like, we would be dying of heat. And she said, yeah, but moving, it costs money, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why can't you just buy air conditioning and stay in that place? I'm like, because the amount of money the air conditioning would cost would come to the same thing as moving. So we would rather move and have a bigger place than spend money on air conditioning and be in a smaller place. And she just kept challenging all these things. I'm just like, it's not making any sense. If the point, we're going to have to spend €1,000 one way or another. Like, we're just going to have to spend €1,000. We are choosing to go live somewhere bigger rather than get air conditioning done, which isn't even going to be that good. And she just refused to, and she just kept being so negative and just saying, things like criticizing JT about the fact that he never comes down to see them. He comes once a year, once every other year. Like, she has rights as a grandmother to see her grandchild, and he's going against her rights to see her grandchild. And I was just like, since JT and I have been together, he has come to the south of France maybe 7 or 8 times. 4 times of those times with Julia. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're just, how can you say that he never comes down and he's like depriving you of your granddaughter when it's just completely wrong? And if I say this, she just doesn't say anything. She just like ignores what I just said and repeats the fact that she has rights. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Which led to, we got up and we said, okay, well, we're leaving because it's no point in staying. So we went back to where we were staying, and she showed up the next day. She wasn't supposed to show up, but she showed up the next day to just kind of like give things to Julia and being like, oh, I'm your granddaughter, blah, I'm your grandmother, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is this?
Yeah, it sounds like we're just talking about in the previous episode about people who always need to be right and always need people to agree with them and always have to have the final word, or to, because it sounds to me like she was just trying to, I don't know what she was trying to do, but it just sounds like she is a concerned mother, but I don't know. It's like, it sounds, wow. It's a difficult situation because it's his mother. and you know, you want to get along with her, but on the other hand, when she's being so difficult and trying to challenge you at every corner and sort of laying every possible blame she can on you, it's hard to get along. So I'm like curious what JT has to say about it.
Yeah, well, JT has a very difficult relationship with her. And yeah, she is a concerned mother. Like, you know, that's a given. She is definitely concerned about JT's well-being. But it's the way of expressing it. And she doesn't, you know, she could, if she had said something along the lines of, I'm concerned and, you know, I want to make sure that you're doing the right thing. And she can have concerns about me, you know, he broke up with his last partner, you know, that's fine. But the delivery is so controlling and so manipulative and negative and things like that. And JT hates it. And he, you know, every time he comes back from the south of France, he says it like, I don't want to go back there. I hate it. I feel so uncomfortable there. They never come to see me. Like, it's always me that comes down there when they're the ones with the money and the time that, you know, they could come up, but they never do. And I'm just, you know, I'm like, well, you know, I don't particularly enjoy going to see your family because it's not an amazing time each time, but you know, I'll happily do it for you. But he's just, I don't know. And it's this weird thing where he doesn't want to go, but he feels like he has to. So he does. And he hates every second of it.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation because your mother-in-law, his mother, is complaining that she doesn't see you enough, him, and when she does, she's being
a bitch.
I was gonna say that, I just wasn't sure if I should.
Yeah.
And then she's not making the effort to come visit him. So she wants to be in the right, and she wants to be the person who's like comes out on top, but she's not seeing that she's also contributing, or rather not contributing to the situation.
Yeah.
Well, she's contributing to it in a way that she's making it worse because she's making people not want to come visit her, and she's just making everyone feel uncomfortable. And she's not contributing by not being an active participant. She's not taking initiative to come visit as well, and to show that she actually cares, because it doesn't sound like she's arguing to try and help you improve, and